Today, we're diving headfirst into a mind-blowing topic: the fascinating notion that ancient civilizations experienced UFO sightings. It's a wild idea, right? Just think about it. What if our ancestors looked up at the stars and saw something that left them utterly awestruck? Let's dig into the evidence and explore this captivating mystery together. Number 9. Egyptian pyramids. The pyramids of Giza are arguably the most famous ancient structures on the planet. Built over 4,500 years ago, these monuments are still standing strong and offer a glimpse into a time long gone. But what if the pyramids aren't all that they seem? What if they hold secrets from a time before the pharaohs, secrets from when aliens walked among us? A team of researchers from the University of Johannesburg in South Africa recently used ground-penetrating radar to scan the interior of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Their goal was to find out whether there were any undiscovered chambers inside. They hoped to find a mysterious void behind the pyramid wall. Instead, they found something even more shocking. They uncovered evidence of human remains inside the structure, proving that mummies were once kept within its walls. But this isn't the only reason that people are convinced there is a link between aliens and the pyramids. There are several other theories that have circulated over the years. One theory suggests that the Egyptians were able to build the pyramids with the help of extraterrestrials. Proponents of this theory point to the precision with which the pyramids were built and the advanced mathematics required to create them. They argue that the Egyptians didn't have the technology or knowledge to build the pyramids on their own, and that they must have had help from an advanced civilization. Others believe that the pyramids themselves are proof of alien life. They point to the fact that the pyramids are aligned with the stars in the constellation Orion as evidence that the Egyptians knew more about the universe than we do. Still, others believe that the pyramids are simply tombs for alien visitors who crash-landed on Earth thousands of years ago. There is no evidence to support any of these theories, but they make for interesting speculation nonetheless. Number 8. Nazca lines. The Nazca lines are a series of over 10,000 lines etched into the desert floor in southern Peru. They were created by the Nazca people between 400 BC and 650 AD and are thought to have been used for religious purposes. The lines form a variety of shapes, including geometric designs, animals, and plants. Some of the lines are only a few feet wide, while others stretch for hundreds of yards. The largest design is a monkey, which measures 375 feet from nose to tail. To date, archaeologists have uncovered 13 figures, 73 geometric shapes, and 300 lines. The Nazca people were skilled astronomers who studied the stars and planets. It's believed that the lines were used to track the movement of celestial bodies. The straight lines may have served as pathways for ceremonial processions, while the animal and plant designs may have represented deities or mythical creatures. The Nazca people were also known for their elaborate textiles, which often featured geometric patterns and zoomorphic figures. It's possible that the lines were inspired by the textiles, which in turn were inspired by the constellations above. Ultimately, the true meaning of the Nazca lines remains a mystery. Without written records from the Nazca people, archaeologists can only speculate about their purpose. However, the lines continue to fascinate scientists and tourists alike. Number 7. Ancient astronaut theory. The ancient astronaut theory is the idea that extraterrestrial beings visited Earth in the distant past and interacted with humans. Proponents of the theory claim that these extraterrestrial visitors had advanced technology and were responsible for many of the ancient world's most impressive feats of engineering, such as the pyramids of Giza or Stonehenge. They also claim that the ancient astronauts left behind evidence of their visits in the form of artifacts like the Baghdad Battery or the Nazca lines. The theory is often associated with Erich von Däniken, a Swiss writer who popularized it in his 1968 book, Chariots of the Gods: Unsolved Mysteries of the Far Past. Von Däniken's theory is based on his interpretation of various ancient texts, artifacts, and myths. He claims that the biblical account of the Tower of Babel, for example, is a reference to an ancient spaceport. According to von Däniken, the gods mentioned in ancient texts like the Bible were actually extraterrestrial beings. He points to similarities between descriptions of gods in different cultures as evidence of this, suggesting that all cultures were describing the same set of visitors from another world. Von Daniken's ideas have been met with a mixed reception from the scientific community. Many archaeologists and historians dismiss the theory out of hand as unscientific and lacking evidence. However, some academics take a more nuanced approach, arguing that there is value in exploring the possibility of extraterrestrial contact in the distant past. Number 5. The Vimanas. The Vimanas are described in ancient Sanskrit texts as flying machines used by gods or supernatural beings. The texts date back thousands of years and contain detailed descriptions of the Vimanas' appearance and capabilities. According to the texts, the Vimanas were cigar-shaped vehicles that were propelled through the air by a mysterious power source. They were said to be able to fly at incredible speeds and were sometimes accompanied by bright lights and strange noises. Supporters of the ancient astronaut theory believe that the Vimanas are evidence of contact between ancient Indians and an advanced extraterrestrial civilization. They argue that the Vimanas were actually spaceships, and that the ancient texts are accounts of alien visitors to Earth. However, mainstream historians argue that the Vimanas were likely mythological creatures, and that there is no evidence to support the idea that they were real flying machines. They point out that the ancient texts also describe other fantastical creatures, such as demons and dragons, which are not considered to be real by modern standards. Despite the lack of physical evidence, some people believe that the Vimanas did exist and that they will eventually be discovered. They argue that the ancient texts are accurate descriptions of extraterrestrial technology, and that the Vimanas could potentially be recovered if more research was conducted. Number 4. Dogon people. The Dogon people are an ethnic group in Mali, West Africa. They are known for their unique culture and traditions, as well as their knowledge of astronomy. According to Dogon mythology, their world was created by a supreme being known as Amma. After creating the world, Amma left it in the care of Nomo, amphibious sky gods who became the ancestors of the Dogon people. The Nomo are said to have descended from the sky in a great spaceship known as the Hogon Tofa, which resembles a flying saucer. The Nomo taught the Dogon people how to farm, fish, and live in harmony with nature. They also gave them knowledge of astronomy and showed them how to navigate the stars. Over time, the Nomo returned to the sky and the Dogon people were left to govern themselves. However, the Dogon people have preserved the knowledge and traditions passed down to them by the Nomo. They have a deep understanding of the cosmos and are able to predict eclipses and other astronomical events with accuracy. This knowledge has earned them the nickname the Astronomers of Africa. The Dogon people's beliefs and traditions have been the subject of much research and debate. Some scholars believe that the Dogon people's knowledge of astronomy is the result of centuries of observation and study. Others believe that the Dogon people may have received this knowledge from extraterrestrial visitors. This belief is based on the Dogon people's mythology and their seemingly advanced knowledge of the universe. Mainstream scientists remain skeptical of the Dogon people's claims, but many ufologists believe that the Dogon people's stories are evidence of ancient alien contact. Number 3. Ancient cave paintings. There are numerous ancient cave paintings that appear to depict UFOs or other strange aerial phenomena. These paintings are found all over the world, from Spain to India and Australia. One of the most famous examples is the Lascaux cave in France, which contains a painting of what looks like a UFO and smaller flying objects. The painting is estimated to be around 15,000 years old. Other examples include the Bhimbetka rock shelters in India, which contain paintings of flying objects and humanoid figures with large heads and small bodies. In Australia, there are many Aboriginal rock art sites that feature depictions of flying objects and strange creatures. While some believe that these paintings are evidence of ancient alien contact, others argue that they are simply examples of ancient humans' fascination with the unknown. It's possible that these paintings represent a combination of both ancient human imagination and actual sightings of UFOs or other unexplained phenomena. Further research is needed to determine the true meaning behind these paintings. Number 2. Tablet of Axe-Mur. The Tablet of Axe-Mur is a mysterious artifact discovered in Susa, Iran in 1939. The artifact dates back to around 2600 BC and is one of the oldest pieces of writing ever discovered. The tablet is inscribed with cuneiform script, which is one of the earliest forms of writing. The text on the tablet is believed to tell the story of a group of gods who travel to the earth in a flying chariot. The gods are said to have come from a distant land and brought with them new technologies and knowledge. This story has led to speculation that the tablet is evidence of ancient alien contact. Some believe that the gods described in the text are actually extraterrestrials who visited Earth in the distant past. However, mainstream historians argue that the tablet is simply a piece of mythology and that the story is not based on real events. They point out that the text is part of a larger religious narrative and that the gods are simply part of the ancient Mesopotamian pantheon. Nevertheless, the tablet remains a fascinating artifact and a reminder of the mysteries of the ancient world. Number 1. Ancient Sumerians. The ancient Sumerians were a civilization that lived in Mesopotamia, which is now modern-day Iraq, Kuwait, and Turkey. They are known for their many contributions to human civilization, including the invention of the wheel and the first known system of writing. The Sumerians lived in a time before recorded history. So much of what we know about them comes from archaeological evidence and the texts of other ancient cultures. Despite the lack of written records from the Sumerians themselves, many researchers believe that they had knowledge of UFOs or extraterrestrial life. This belief is based on a number of ancient texts that describe strange objects or beings from the sky. For example, one Sumerian text tells the story of a great king named Gilgamesh, who goes on a quest to find immortality. During his travels, he meets a mysterious man named Utnapishtim, who tells him the story of the Great Flood. Utnapishtim also tells Gilgamesh that the gods had given him a special boat to survive the flood, a boat that some believe may have been a UFO. Another Sumerian text describes a group of gods who travel to Earth in a fiery chariot. These gods are said to have come from a distant land and brought with them new technologies and knowledge. Some researchers believe that these gods were actually extraterrestrials who visited Earth in the distant past. However, it's important to note that these texts are often interpreted in different ways, and there is no consensus among scholars about what they mean. Some believe that the Sumerians' beliefs about the sky were simply a reflection of their fascination with the natural world, while others argue that they had actual encounters with extraterrestrial life. Thanks for watching. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos, and remember to stay curious.